Flawedcast number.
Gobble, turkey, gobble.
You know what's cool about the number 69? If you flip it over, it's still 69. Yes.
Flawedcast. Flawedcast. Get in the arena.
What's up, Will? Good morning, Jason. I'm back from the non-binary
Back
ship.
from the dead.
How about that ride in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City.
Here comes Johnny.
Here comes trouble.
And of course...
What up, fellas?
Hi, Norm.
All right. Well, glad to have Jason back.
It's good to be back. You know, it was a long trip. You know,
a long,
I
strange
kept
trip.
your seat warm.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Norm. There's a little custard in it. I appreciate you leaving that there for me. And
That's not custard.
I was trying to be politically correct on our podcast so we don't get cut from...
Politically?
Oh, why bother? We already got episodes removed again today, so...
Yeah, if you would like to hear this, you have to email us so that we can send you a CD.
I got an idea. I have an old tape recorder. I'll just hit record, and then we'll sell cassettes through the mail.
So here's the thing. You know, every Sunday I go to record stores because I don't really have much of a life. And there is this resurgence of cassettes. No,
There's not even anything to play tapes on anymore. I literally have nothing to play a tape on.
I don't either.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Pretty badass right there.
Well, Norm is the coolest of all of us, so...
The reality is this. If you have like a Blu-ray player or a DVD player, you're kind of old school. That's how fast technology has been changing.
Yeah, well...
If you have anything that is a player and it's not in the cloud, you're a badass.
I was going to say, I have a record player that will play records, cassette tapes, and CDs.
That's not a record player then, is it?
It plays records, so it's a record player.
It's not a record player.
You're a player.
It's a CD player.
Johnny, look at their banter. Isn't this so cute?
Yeah.
All right, let's go, handsome. Come on. Not you, fat Jesus. Slide it on back. You, pretty boy. Counting cards is a foolproof system. It's also illegal. It's not illegal. It's frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane. I'm pretty sure that's illegal, too. Yeah, maybe after 9/11, where everybody gets so sensitive.
And on that note, we want to thank everybody for listening. If you have found us, you are...
If you're still listening.
If you're still listening and you have found us, we just got another notification this morning that we've had more episodes taken down from YouTube. And I meant this episode to be a fun, loving, encouraging one, but I can tell you right now, it's not going to be.
As I like to say, Bill, fat.
I'm feeling a certain way, but we do want to thank our loyal audience for tuning in again this week. You can find all of our episodes somewhere. Hopefully, we are on going strong on Rumble. They actually like free speech and the exchange of thoughts.
You know what the problem is, Willie? There's too many pussies out there.
Amen.
Like, you know, there are a lot of feral cats, is all I'm saying.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Once again, we are on...
We're on a CD if you want it, because you're probably not hearing it if you're not listening to the CD right now.
Right, yeah.
You have to unravel the code.
We're like NWA back in the day, man. We got to be underground.
Right, underground like a worm. So we do want to thank you guys. Right now, as of right now, we are on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. I don't know if we'll be on YouTube. I know we're on Rumble, Flawedcast CLE. We are still on flawedinc.com, where you can find all my daily flawed vlogs. Johnson has a comment.
No, I'm just waiting for you to get to it.
You're waiting for him to get to your comment?
No.
He just wants to with your shit. We're trying to trigger Bill. It's been a lot harder than I thought this morning. Normally we have him triggered as hell by now.
She f***ed a sailor.
Here's a bellhop.
But I think we're still on the Project Mockingbird social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Doing really well on Gab. Thank you for the support in that community. And MeWe. With that being said, Jason...
I almost forgot why you were saying Jason there for a second. Then I remembered I had to put over my left knee and my right hand over my left heart.
Hokey pokey, turn yourself around.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish we were on video. Ready?
She's a nice lady.
Right hand over your left heart, please. And repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
More God! More
I
God!
just realized we didn't repeat after you. We said it in unison.
He noticed.
You not only said in unison, you started before me, so you definitely couldn't repeat after me. You have adults.
I am a leader, so.
You gotta be super smart to count cards, buddy, okay? Oh, really? Not easy. Okay, well, maybe we should tell that to Rayman, because he practically bankrupted a casino, and he was a retard. What? He was a retard.
Wapner, 10 minutes to Wapner.
So far, Bill's got...
Don't edit shit. See how far our episode gets.
I got 46 minutes.
Bill's thinking this.
Shouldn't be here. Why is that, Alan? I I'm not supposed to be within 200 feet of a school.
Out of that 47 minutes, you probably got about like a minute and a half of usable material.
Yeah, there's at least 2
Pretty
minutes
much.
there. There's at least 2 minutes
Pretty
there.
much. All right. So this week.
By the way, I'm not reading today, Bill.
Oh, the hell you weren't.
I'm literally.
You already did.
I'm off. That's it. I'm done with the reading. I am going off cuff. Just whatever I want to say.
Okay, that's fine. Except
I'm a crazy motherfucker.
Except when I need you to read. All right, so I wanted to do something that hopefully won't get us removed from YouTube, but good luck with that because, yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be...
Herd the sheep, buddy.
Listen, we heard the cat.
That's what I said.
All right, herding the cat's here.
I
So
told you there's a lot of pussies.
there's more than I can count.
There's a lot of white pussies.
That was very racist. I'm offended. I'm a human racist, and I find that very offensive.
Well, it'd be offensive if I said there was black pussies, but
So
I don't think it's racist to say white pussies. Did you hear that mouse on a motorcycle? I'm just saying, I heard a mouse on a motorcycle.
Oh, it's got a little bite, that one. Oh.
We don't do those things, Norm. You white pussy. Bill, do you just want to start over? Would that be easier if we just started over?
69.
it would be actually, yes.
This is gonna be the last time you guys invite me back.
Make sure you save all that.
All right, Jason.
Can I get the whole action thing? That makes me feel better.
Action thing.
No, you gotta. Yes, sir.
Son of a bitch.
How'd the mothership feel?
A little loose in the back end, if you know what I mean.
Loosey goosey.
I really don't know what you mean, actually, but I am. Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what it was.
But it wasn't ecstasy, Alan. It was roofies. You think I knew that, Stu?
Can I do this whole episode just saying I am Groot and you guys act like you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Are you gonna be baby Groot, teenage Groot, or adult Groot?
Adult Groot. I'm all grown up.
I am Groot.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That's the best role that Vin Diesel ever had in his career.
It is because that guy's dumber than a box of Bidens. Anyway, so
Box of Bidens. I like
That was actually kind of funny.
Good, Bill.
yeah, I got
I like you, man.
I got jokes.
You're crazy, but I like you.
All right, so this week, I'm just going to warn you now, if you want some funny banter, I have over an hour's worth of stuff.
This may be the second time we've started recording this because
This may be the third.
Jason
Are you complaining?
and Norm and John are a little immature this morning.
Bill keeps complaining, but seriously, Bill.
It's your job. Beautiful, man. When you gonna have some fun? We gonna take a day off.
Yeah, I need a day off. Anyway,
Well, you
so,
want to take a day off, Bill?
the problem is if I take a day off, I may not come back.
Maybe take a year off.
You'll come here and Shanny and I will be gone with a note that just says,
Yeah.
No, dude.
Like in Good Will
Good
Hunting.
Will
But
Hunting,
there's no
yeah.
note. That's why you
I'm gonna
make
go
it.
see
We
it.
knock on the door. I got all the coffees. I knock on the door. We're all standing outside. We're like looking in the windows. No Shandy barking. We all just look at each other and smile, get in our cars, and drive away.
Wait, so what you're saying is you've reduced us to a bunch of Afflecks.
no. Well, which Affleck?
I'm very confused right now. Are we talking about Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Except my note won't say, I'm going to go see about a girl. It'll say, I'm going to go see about a country.
No, that note was not left for Ben. That note was left for Robin.
Johnny is the one that wants to be Ben's. You guys could have been Robin's, but he chose you.
Norm
he,
Casey.
he chose you to be a bunch of Afflecks, so, you know.
I'm Batman.
Norm's who's the other dude? There's Casey, Ben, Matt.
Oh, there's Cole Hauser.
That's who.
Cole Hauser.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like him a little bit. You know, he's got a little.
You bear a striking resemblance to Cole Hauser.
I do.
It's the beard. It's yeah.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
you're a more handsome version of Cole Hauser.
I wouldn't go that far. but
My favorite scene ever of him is in Dazed and Confused when he's in the back of the pickup truck and it's all over. Pretty much the whole party's over and he goes to stand up. He just falls back down in the seat. He's just so f***ed up he can't even stand up. He just sits down in the seat in the back of the pickup truck.
yeah, which is probably
Yeah.
what actually happened. But
Yeah, that's probably not a role.
that probably wasn't acting per se.
He was in School Ties.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He was, yeah.
I like him. I like his parts. What do they call that?
You say you like his parts?
All of them. All of them.
You like
A supporting actor. He's a good supporting actor.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to get into the meat and potato of this week's episode, which was initially intended to be a encouraging,
Is it Mr. Potato or Mr. No, sorry.
whatever it wants,
The
whatever kind of
potato.
potato it wants to
Stephen
identify
King
as.
was ahead of his time.
We just call it Spud.
Stephen King was ahead of his time.
I think that's cultural appropriation. Anyway, so this week was intended and meant to be a positive uplifting, especially to those people who have a system of faith that need to be energized and revitalized with things. We're going to talk about a segment of the founding Can you back away from the mic a little bit? You're breathing right into it. It's super loud.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Stop breathing.
I'm sorry. It's just super loud. You don't hear what I hear.
I'm just gonna say anything anymore. I'm a big pussy, white pussy
It's a fact. Look it up.
with 2 lips,
All right. So
cats and flowers.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
Episode was meant to be.
This can just be a blooper reel.
I think we do a
One
one reel
long
and take a
blooper
week
reel.
off.
I spent a lot of
Well, it's not saying we have to toss the episode.
Well, yes. This
It's episode number 69. How can anyone take it seriously?
Yeah.
Let's do episode number 69.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I didn't even think about that until you jokers got here.
Come on, dude. You're the
How do you
first
not
one.
look at 69 and be like, whoa, that's number 69? Whoa.
Bill, you're always the one talking about sex.
No, Norm.
Let's talk about
You just pointed at his Peter.
Okay,
Point at my Peter, man?
Why are you looking at Norm's Peter with your one good eye?
maybe I'm looking at it with my bad eye.
Ooh, baby, that's hot. I wanna sex you up.
It's
Time to get it in. Bill, did you have a dog growing up?
yes,
What was your dog's name?
Tasha.
Interesting. You like girl dogs, don't you?
I guess.
Black dog? Is that why you named her Tasha?
No, my dad. Yes.
I happened to went to school with a white Tasha.
Yes.
No, you didn't. You're lying.
No, if she were a lap dog, her name would be Cinnamon.
That's racist against.
She's a nice lady.
So my wife says.
So,
I wanted to be there to watch, right?
Why you guys gotta be cool to strippers? They're just trying to put themselves through college.
hey, I support single mothers.
so does the breast enlargement surgery. But
Hey, as Joe Biden said, poor kids are just as important as white kids.
He did say that. That's a quote, YouTube.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
Thank you.
I don't think I need any of these, but
You-
fuck it.
they're good for you.
I
Bill, would you like a caffeine pill?
no,
Come on, bring it to the real
You're trying to push this episode. It's not happening.
I guess it's not. All right, well then, floor is open. What do you numbnuts want to talk about?
He's in the military.
Holy shit, that was fun. So let's just start all over.
We're not going to toss the episode.
Flawedcast number 6.
Bill's going to toss the salad.
Don't toss the episode, just the salad, Bill.
Flawedcast number 69.
69.
I literally,
We're just going to freestyle it this week, Bill.
I literally
I
had
told you
no-
reading notes is for pussies.
I had no thought about any kind of innuendo or any nefarious kind of thing associated with this
It's
until
your
you.
fault. You should have went from number 68 to number 70.
Right. Don't you know how they do it in elevators? They skip floor 13.
In 90s comedy, you just should have just said 69 and a half.
Well, I guess I could still do that. So
You can do anything you want, Bill.
Are you crying?
I support
No.
you.
There's no crying podcast.
I'm not crying because you have to have a heart and emotions to cry.
What's the first rule of Flawedcast?
Copies for closer.
Yeah, coffee's for closers.
Get in the arena, you stupid fucks.
Oh.
I'm serious on it.
Is this mine?
Yeah.
You sure?
Sure. I've been putting mine right here the entire time. The same as yours.
Wait a second. It says Jason on it.
Yeah.
They all say
I've been
Jason.
drinking Jason's coffee this whole time.
You're all drinking my coffee. Jason's got the best coffee. You think you're drinking Dunkin' Donuts, but really you're drinking Jason's.
Well, you did get nut in my coffee.
The best part of
He
waking
nut-
nut shot. It says nut shot in my coffee.
Really, that's the nutshell.
The best part of waking up
he nutted-
is Jason in your mouth.
He nutted in your cup.
A nut shot in my cup.
It says Jason nut shot.
What can I say?
Black nut shot, actually.
Well, that's because I want to make sure that I'm
You're diverse.
very diverse. Next week, wait do you see what it says?
It literally says
It's a little
Jason
creamier.
Midnight
I
Black
hate to see
Nut
what's in
Shot.
Bill's coffee. As creamy as Bill's coffee is, I really don't want
Yeah,
to know what he put in that one.
let's read yours,
So
Bill.
you bring me a nut shot. John brings me a cream stick.
Listen, mine says hot tea XL black, no lemon. Huh?
That's a real manly drink there, pal.
It's no lemon, bro. What's yours say, Bill?
No, it says Jason extra large original blend 7 cream 6 Splenda.
It's because I'm white and sweet, baby.
Okay, first of all, he was a bartender, and she was wasted. And if you must know, he didn't even come inside her. Can you believe that? Yeah, I do believe that because she's grossed out by semen.
I think it's just going to be a bunch of random comments.
No, seriously, does anyone have any good thoughts that we want to share? Let's come up with a topic to talk about. You know what we need to do? Flawedcast episode number 69. Each one of us say something.
This is Flawedcast.
Episode.
Number?
Jesus, Joseph and Mary.
69, bro.
Come on, Bill. I was just trying to liven it up a bit.
I know.
Can't even say it without laughing.
I don't
Loosen
even.
up, man. I was upset.
I am upset, and
taking it seriously.
No, it's not that. I probably do need to be a little more jovial, in all honesty. But I put a lot of work. I try very hard to give people educational bits to help them wake up that freedom is important, and I'm having a very hard time with the fact that people just genuinely do not care. People do not want to be free. They want to live enslaved. They want to have these mRNA shots that alter their DNA and completely mess with them.
See, I don't believe your statement. What I believe is people want the lies they're being told to be true.
The problem is...
They're lies?
No, I mean, the problem is Mark Twain once said that a lie goes all the way around the world before the truth wakes up in the morning and puts its pants on.
Well, that's what they're banking on.
Well, that's what's happening. I don't want to be disparaging to our audience, because I do. I love them all, and I love the faithfulness, but it just really gets to me when I get comments every week like, do you really believe that? That can't be happening.
It's exactly what they said to the Jews in Germany.
That's why a lot of them stayed behind in Germany. They didn't believe, this ain't going to happen here. That's not really People believe that in this country.
For sure.
Nobody believed that terrorists could fly airplanes into large buildings and bring our buildings down. Anything's possible. And the further we get away from God, anything's possible. And this wingnut that's in office right now, he's doing everything in his power.
Son of a bitch.
His policies, with his executive orders and his policies that he's putting in place, is not only destructive for America, but it's inviting the wrath of God on us.
Well, he's a fucking puppet. We all know it. He's just a puppet.
All joking aside, I feel very flummoxed because I just do not know how to convey the severity of the position that we are finding ourselves in.
Think about it, though. People hear things and they still don't believe it. You could share real, actual quotes that the president has said, and they still won't believe it. You could play them a quote from President Biden saying, the plan is to create a new world order. I've heard him say that. But you could show that to somebody, and they'll say, nah, he didn't say that.
Oddly enough, we had an episode a little bit ago where we had a lot of quotes from every president, from Reagan to the last president. I won't say his name because we'll get kicked off.
Yeah.
But every single president had been quoted as saying something in regards to creating a new world order, being part of a new world order. And the thing that really flummoxes me is that even people who have a system of faith that should understand that as we progress through time, that we continue to see more of this eschatological, revelatory, foretold happenings come to pass. It makes me sad. I'm not angry. It makes me sad.
I wasn't checking out. I wanted to find something to play for everyone based off of what Norm said. Okay, so we all know that Donald Trump, and anyone who believes in Donald Trump or likes him, is a white supremacist. So since that's the case, I just wanted to play this.
If I'm a felon just coming home from a 20-year sentence because of Joe Biden and that bullshit bill that him and Hillary put forth.
Another thing about how perspectives change over time. Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, I'm ashamed that I voted for the 94 crime bill. You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people, beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Mass incarceration has put hundreds of thousands behind bars for minor offenses. Joe Biden wrote those laws.
Every major crime bill that's come out of this Congress has had the name Joe Biden on that bill. We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
Joe Biden's policies destroyed millions of black lives. Joe Biden may not remember, but we do.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, take a look at my record, man.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others.
He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement and kept telling the story anyway.
I came out of the civil rights movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
Now, his aides went back to say, look, he was in office marching for the idea.
That's not the word marching on Twitter.
I was not out marching.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black,
They're going to put you all back in chains.
and you ain't black,
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
you ain't black, you ain't black, you ain't black.
Sorry, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. But yep, Trump and us we're all just white supremacists. Not
president ever.
not Joe Biden and Saint Biden, right? Makes me sick to my stomach.
Not to mention that he was like really great friends with Strom Thurmond, and he did the eulogy at Robert Byrd's funeral.
Those are great men.
Two devout, proud racists.
The problem is,
Hey, John, that's weird. That glass looks half full to me.
Wow, now that you mention it, it is half full.
you could send that to them, and somebody would just say, "You've doctored your video." Love is blindness, and they love to kill our country. Now Bill wants to go cry.
How you doing, Bill?
We got what we wanted. Go America.
I don't know how to say this without sounding conceit. I don't, but I knew this was going to happen. And they've used the ruse of a over-bloated, medically tyrannical ruse to lull people who are easily susceptible to misgivings to give up their freedom. Like we said last episode, quote from Benjamin Franklin, those that would trade their freedom for temporary security deserve neither their freedom nor their security. And our founding fathers were smart men.
Come on, they pulled all that stuff out of their ass.
Well, not only were they smart, but, if you read the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, that was divinely inspired. You can't deny that.
Yeah, divinely inspired, as well as...
Warning! Warning!
Go down for the sick sound off. Yeah.
What they wrote came from a lot of experience. I've said this in the past. It came from experience of factual things that have happened in the world. You know what I mean? It's not like they're like, oh, I wonder if in 200 years... No, they said this shit actually happened before. We don't want this to happen. We need this to be a free land of the people.
And they took the best of the governing principles from like the Roman governmental system, and then they incorporated ideas with the Magna Carta,
right?
And well as the Almighty's hand of providence to guide them into things. And, people don't really realize like King George was a bastard. Come on, man. And, it's interesting when you really dig into the grievances and Declaration of Independence, things like that. People say, well, it's taxation without representation, which we absolutely have now. But it was honestly more for religious freedom, for freedom from governmental restraints. The people, they just literally wanted a veritable New Jerusalem, if you will, that they could have a place where they can govern themselves. And people just have lost the instinct for freedom, to not imprison themselves. And we talk about this a lot, like classical liberalism, the idea that there is such a thing as accountability, and people have the freedom to make their own decisions. People have the freedom to say what they want to say, suffer the consequences later.
It's called free will, man.
To have that taken away, it's such a tragedy to me. To me, it's antithetical to the Gospels, frankly.
Well, they're not saying you can't have the thoughts. You just don't have anywhere to put them now.
Well, once we all get jacked up to Neuralink, it's such a compelling thing that when Sam Adam talked about the animated contest of liberty, that we are now in those times when we can engage in a wonderful practice and a time-honored tradition of the idea of self-governance and self-reliance, but it's not sexy. It's not, hip. It's easier to have everything provided and handed to you. The problem is that when you are reliant upon somebody, that's...
Let's face it, our parents up. They were raised as hard asses, and they wanted to give us everything they could. And that has trickled down to a bunch of Pussies. I'm just saying. When I was a kid, do you know how many times I told my parents what I wanted for dinner? Let me rephrase that. Do you know how many times they asked me what I wanted for dinner? Oh, yeah, never. That's 0. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Once a year on my birthday.
Yeah.
What would you like for your birthday dinner? We got to pick where we wanted to go out to eat for a birthday. I asked my kids,
Oh, God.
so I'm raising my hand. My bad. I ask my kids what they want to eat all the time. And when I just make something, they're disappointed because they didn't have a say in it. Why should my kids have a say in what we make? Oh, well, I did that, right? And this is how we've become because we want it easier for them. We want to provide. Now they just expect everything. You know, it's unreal.
Entitlement out of control.
Well, I think as parents, my dad grew up in Collinwood. I mean, he grew up fighting for his life every single day in the 60s, back when every person was called a racial slur, and he wanted a better life for me.
No matter what color you are.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
the good old days.
Yeah. Germans had a nickname, Irish had a nickname. I mean,
Italians.
Yeah. So, I mean,
greasy wops.
My dad grew up in the city and then, moved us, when I was a kid, moved us out to the country. Try to give me a better life, you know what I mean? And I think, naturally, I want to give my kids a good, but more is not always better.
Right. Well, the thing is this, what happened in the thing, so my parents gave me a lot more than they had. However, what they also gave me were the same values that they were raised with. And somewhere, we stopped raising our kids with values, I'm just, it's so out of control, man. It's so out of control.
We did this.
We absolutely did
stay
this.
away from the pedos.
Oh.
We did this.
Well, the problem, I think it goes back to the last episode. Our parents were raised by our grandparents who fought the embodiment of evil in their hour of history. And then our parents, they were involved in Vietnam, most of them, or during that time. Since that generation, we've not had any kind of challenges. Like we've had like Desert Shield, and then Norm, you talked about 9/11. I just think that we've not had any kind of opposition. And when we talk in regards to the scriptures, the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance develops character. Like there's this process that trials and things that come against you, adversities, that is really one of the only ways to...
Iron sharpens iron.
Yes, exactly. And that's the only way that we can really honestly grow. Like I've learned more from my failures than I ever have from any successes. And this is part of the reason why I don't like the new Star Wars trilogy, because you have the main protagonist, Rey, who is literally in the ass end of the galaxy, never heard of a Jedi, never seen a lightsaber. She touches it once and all of a sudden is fighting the equivalent of Darth Vader. Where's the hero's struggle? Where's the journey and the saga of development and that perseverance?
Training.
When I was a kid, my favorite part of any movie was the training montage, like going through things and learning. But
come on, Rocky IV.
Oh, any of the Rockies.
I know the Rocky IV's training in Russia, Wisconsin, whichever you want to say.
You knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now?
Even in the worst Rocky film, Rocky had his ass handed to him right after he had that huge mountaintop moment. Like, according to the lore of Rocky, united the world and beat the Russian monster. And then he realized his best friend, his brother, completely sold him out and had like nothing and had to go back to,
He crumbles all the way back down to the bottom again.
Right. And then he builds himself up. There's that idea of that struggle. If you have no struggle, if you have everything handed to you, then there is no growth. And then there's no growth. You become stagnant. It's like the Dead Sea.
Dude, and I'm sorry I interrupted you, but that's why I get so frustrated about this white privilege thing. I mean, I've had people help me, and I have received help, and I'm very grateful. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I caused a lot of my own problems in my life. But there's a lot of crap that happened in my life that I didn't ask for. And it had nothing to do with me being white or black. You know what I mean? Life throws everybody curveballs. It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, life is life. I remember, and I don't know if you'll have to cut this out, but back in the 90s when I was a kid, my dad passed away. My mom wasn't in the picture. I was a young kid. I was just getting ready to graduate high school. Didn't know which direction I wanted to go with my life. Thought I wanted to be a fireman, but I wanted to go to school and get like a fire science degree. And I didn't have any money. My stepmom stole my inheritance, blah, 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 sob story. But I went to the community college with my girlfriend's mom at the time, because she was like the only adult in my life who was willing to go with me, and tried to get help financially to go to community college because I had nothing. And you know what they told me? The grants and stuff were not for somebody like me because I was the wrong color. As a white man, they told me that. And that was in the 90s. So you can take your white privilege and stick it right up your frickin' rectum.
You know, I don't believe in white privilege. I think there's American privilege.
But it is. America's gone soft. You were saying there, that is the overall problem. They don't incentivize hard work. There is no incentivization for hard work. We push the agenda of going soft, and that's where we're gonna reap that reward. You know, for and I, it's, well, you're sick, but you're not really sick enough. So if you become more sick, then we'll help you. We're not going to give you a hand because you're just kind of in the middle ground.
Right.
It's the days of the baby boomers. We've consistently started a trend, and it's part of a grand scheme. We've talked about it in ways in our Flawedcast, but it's been pushing and pushing and pushing this reliance upon big government, which is what it all circles back to, is you need us to take care of you. And there is no incentivization for working hard, for trying to, the old school
Yes, but
route.
not only you need us to take care of you, they say
Think
that,
for you.
but listen, what they're doing is saying you need us to keep you down, right? So in Bill's situation, I love this story because it's insane to me. So, you know, Bill being blind, he can't drive, right?
Well, he can. Legally, he still can.
But you know what I'm saying?
And shoot a gun.
So
God bless America.
The reality is this: Bill's disabled in a way that he can't just go work any job. Okay, he has to be dependent on a lot of people. So he went and got a job that he can work from home, right? So he found a job to fit his disability. Okay, and then the government told him, "Oh, you're making too much money." Right? So he can only make so much money because he's disabled, and he can't go do some jobs that might make more money. So he found a job that fits his disability where he can make a living, right? And the government said, "We are not going to give you any of your disability money or help you pay for any of your medication or any of that if you make more than $12,000 a year or whatever it is." And he was making like $18,000 a year. It's not like he was making like $100,000 account. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? So in turn, what they're saying is, look, we'll help you stay right about here. That's it. We're not going to help you like actually enjoy any life or anything. We're not going to let you work and make more money and be able to afford Christmas presents and shit. It just makes me sick.
Teach a man to fish and he can fish for himself, but that's the opposite of what our government wants.
Right.
Our government wants you to come over here and we'll give you our scraps. We don't want you to know how to do this yourself because then you won't need us. And if you don't need us, you won't let us control you.
No, I was going to say, I guarantee if they start feeding us synthetic beef, they're still going to be eating real beef. You know, there's people actually posting videos about how much edible insects you can bag and eat versus the amount of beef that you can produce.
Beef, it used to be what's for dinner.
Literally, where's the beef?
What's that movie?
It's the next one called Where's the Beef?
Snow Train or whatever, Chris Evans.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, yeah. When they're like eating the insect gel. I feel like we're heading in that direction.
Well, but and that's the thing, like we talk a lot, that movie, The Matrix, V for Vendetta, like I said, I've been going back and watching a lot of Stanley Kubrick movies and like all this stuff, it's called predictive programming. If you can introduce the idea, the mobile teleportation devices that we take with us everywhere, and I'm falling to that too, our dopamines are lowered, so our acuity and our intuitiveness have been removed, it seems like.
Was it Truman Show? When it finally ended, they're all like, what do we do? Well, I guess we'll talk to each other.
Right.
I guess we'll have
to live.
Each other. Yeah,
right.
We'll actually live our lives. I mean, the movie's kind of brilliant in that sense. If you look at it in a non-just entertainment sense, it's like everybody's vicariously living their life through this fictitious person. And then when it ends, it's like, well, now what do? I guess we
What if the idea of The Matrix is more than just a clever film? What if, the idea of the Terminator, or what if the idea of Prometheus, the alien prequel?
Trying to say that Hollywood has been trying to call the shots for a long period.
Well, it goes back to the idea of lesser magic we've talked about on this podcast. Like these
now
people
dangerous. We're pissing off the billionaires.
Well, there's far fewer of them than there are of us, and that's the idea of like the book I read a couple months ago. It's called The Road to Serfdom by A.J. Hayek, and I've told a lot of people about it. We are on that road to serfdom. We, the many, are being controlled by the few who just have a bigger bank account.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. So, people throw that conspiracy theorist term around so loosely, not realizing that it was created by the CIA to dissuade people who just are open thinkers and who want to say, wait a second, what if? So,
it's not just movies, adult movies. They do the same thing in kids' movies. So, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie WALL-E, right? And what do? Everyone's up in spaceships because they ruin the Earth. They literally can't walk. Their bones have regressed and everything, and they just lay on these things that drive them around.
Pioneering this garbage mentality.
Well, we've talked about this before, this formation of the one world order, the Luciferian ancient Babylonian religion that goes back thousands of years from the time that the serpent tricked Eve. It says, oh, surely you will be like a god. And now we are in this point of transhumanism. You know, you got on the Wall Street Journal front page on Sunday edition talking about it. There was a Johnny Depp movie a couple years ago, Transcendence. This is called predictive programming, and
it works.
Well, right.
I won't say his name. I have a Marine friend who was talking about his relationship with his daughter, where he's like, I'm a Marine. I've experienced real life outside of the bubble that is America. I've experienced people dying. I've been involved in killing people. I know all this real life stuff. He goes, and then I have my daughter who thinks that I'm insane and thinks that Billie Eilish has all the answers in life. And that's our reality. We don't care about people who've lived it, done it, experienced real life. Because if you get outside of America and gain a little perspective.
Not just that, it just goes back to what we say all the time. There's two forms of data, and everyone wants to follow the feelings. Right. No one wants to face the facts. Yep. Facts, what are those? That's what we were talking about earlier. You can show people the facts of what someone says or what someone does. The feelings I have are way more right than that actual factual data.
Right, just like the racist thing. We could play all the videos in the world of the former president denouncing white supremacy, and everyone say, well, yeah, but why didn't he denounce white supremacy? And then you could play videos of the current president over decades.
Just like we did.
Just like we did. Saying, supporting segregation and racist policies, but people be like, nah. I don't feel like that's true.
I know he said it, but come on.
I know he said it, but I don't really feel that way.
That's not what he meant.
Our Biden's a black.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And I know you fairly well, and I know some of the stuff you've gone through, and I've never heard you once ever act like a victim or express victimology in your life.
Myself.
Stuff happens, and you regress or you progress, and that's the idea.
Hey, in March, I literally lost my business. I didn't receive a single dollar in revenue except for a loan I took out to provide for my family from March until October, and then I still had to skip December and January without income because there wasn't enough coming in the new business that I started. I mean, we all have the sad story. It's exactly what you say. I mean, It's what you said, Norm. It's what you're saying now, Bill, is, move forward. Like, quit crying on everyone. Quit relying on everyone. If you want something, go get it. Period. End of story. If you want something, put the work in and go get it. That's what made this country great. I like to say that's what makes this country great, but now I have to say it's what made this country great.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into making this country what it is.
Everyone puts their time in if you want to be successful. That's all it's to it. Or you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. And let me tell you what, you can't group people, okay? You can't group people ever based on sex, color, anything. You can't group people. If you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you're rich because you were born that way, okay, that's a mentality. If you've gotten somewhere because you've worked your ass off, that's a mentality. People think all the time that someone who's worked hard and has a lot, they want to tear them down. Like, why do they need all that? They have everything. Let's tax them more. They don't pay for enough shit. It's like, what, do you think they woke up one day and made that kind of money?
Right.
Very few people wake up one day and have that kind of money. Very few people.
When I see multimillionaires and billionaires, whatever, and the increasing number of billionaires in this country, I'm like, that's freaking awesome because they employ a lot of people. They put money into the economy. They're philanthropists. I got a big word out.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Where is this Norm last week?
I'm not going to try to say that again. And they pay tens of millions of dollars in taxes.
Right. And that's the funny thing. People are like, well, they don't pay the same percentage as me. Okay, that's fair. They don't pay the same percentage, but they pay 90% of all the tax that the government gets still. So what the fuck you want?
They pay the wealth.
If they don't make that kind of money, they don't pay the kind of taxes they pay, and all that free shit you get, that's not free shit. All that money we like to give all those other countries,
comes from somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're complaining about all the rich people. Meanwhile, they're still taking their card to the store to get their free stuff and then paying cash for the cigarettes and the booze. And I'm not saying they, in a racial sense, it's not.
That's right.
It's not a black thing.
It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not anything.
They're complaining about the people who are doing all the hard work, paying all the heavy taxes, while they're still taking that card that only comes because of those people who have the money that are paying into the system. It's not monopoly. It's not like we just pull fake money out. It's got to come from somewhere. I know it's not really backed by gold anymore. I get that. It's not free. There's no such thing as free. The only thing that was free is salvation from Christ. You're going to be honest.
I've read this before, but I want to read it again.
Oh, don't read Footprints.
Stop. All right, no, I've read this before, but I want to read this again. It's not footprints. All right, so this is the tax system explained in beer. I love this. Suppose that every day 10 men go out for a beer, and the bill for all 10 comes to $100. If they paid their bill the way we pay our taxes, it would go like this. The first 4 men, the poorest, would pay nothing. The 5th would pay $1. The 6th would pay $3. The 7th would pay $7. The 8th would pay $12. The 9th would pay $18. And the 10th man, the richest man, would pay $59. So that's what they decided to do. The 10 men drink in the bar every day and seemed quite happy with the arrangement, until one day the owner threw them a curve. Since you are all such good customers, he said, I'm going to reduce the cost of your daily beer by $20. Drinks for the 10 now cost $80. The group still wanted to pay their bill the way that we pay our taxes, so the first 4 men were unaffected. They would still drink for free. But what about the other 6 men, the paying customers? How could they divide up the $20 windfall so that everyone gets their fair share? They realized that 20 divided by 6 is $3.33. But if they subtracted that from everybody's share, then the 5th man and the 6th man would each end up being paid to drink his beer. So the bar owner suggested it would be fair to reduce each man's bill by roughly the same amount and proceed to work out the amounts each should pay. And so the 5th man, like the first 4, now paid nothing, 100% savings. The 6th man now paid $2 instead of $3, a 33% savings. The 7th man now paid $5 instead of $7, a 28% savings. The 8th now paid $9 instead of $12, 25% savings. The 9th paid $14 instead of $18, a 22% savings. And the 10th now paid $49 instead of $59, a 16% savings. Each of the 6 was better off than before, and the first 4 continued to drink for free. But once outside the restaurant, the men began to compare their savings. I only got $1 out of the 20, declared the 6th man. He pointed to the 10th man, but he got 10. Yeah, that's right, exclaimed the 5th man. I only saved $1 too. It's unfair that he got 10 times more than I. That's true, shouted the 7th man. Why should he get $10 back when I got only 2? The wealthy get all the breaks. Wait a minute, yelled the first 4 men in unison. We didn't get anything at all. The system exploits the poor. The 9 men were surrounded the 10th man and beat him up. The next night, the 10th man didn't show up for drinks, so the 9 sat down and had beers without him. But when it came time to pay the bill, they discovered something important. They didn't have enough money between all of them for even half the bill. And that, boys and girls, journalists and college professors, this is how our tax system works. The people who pay the highest taxes get the most benefit from a tax reduction. Tax them too much, attack them for being wealthy, and they just may not show up anymore. In fact, they may start drinking overseas where the atmosphere is somewhat friendlier. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. Everyone wants to bitch and moan that they didn't get something.
I don't like beer, though.
Okay. Sorry, got your Saturday session, Bill.
That's okay. I'll make something of this mess. Well, I guess on that note, thanks for listening. If you're here, if not, I don't blame you. And we're everywhere you can listen to podcasts at the moment. All right, goodbye. I can literally hear Norm peeing in my headphones right now.
It's a good microphone.
That is so damn disturbing.
Like everything else today.
I just don't even know. I don't even know right now.
This was episode 69. Upside down, turned around, all over the place. It was wet and messy.